Coming up on this week's episode of The Cut, we will be talking about President Trump's recent visit to Arizona and a celebrity's endorsement of the Democratic candidate Joe Biden.
We will also learn about one Arizona native NASCAR driver following in the footsteps of Jimmy Johnson. Stick around as The Cut Network brings you the latest.
Good evening and welcome to The Cut. I'm Rudy Cavazos.
And I'm Tabitha Bland. Thank you for joining us.
We are excited to be back for our third episode this season. Although we will be bringing the show to your homes virtually, we will continue to be your source for the latest news coverage.
Donald Trump headed to Tucson and Prescott on Monday while on his presidential campaign trail. Elizabeth Shabel has more on why Trump is targeting Arizona's more rural areas.
On Monday, October 18th, President Trump visited Arizona in a fierce effort to try and secure the swing state for the upcoming election. Just like his visit to Yuma back in August, Trump opted to skip over central Phoenix and instead head to more rural areas of the state. His most recent visit included making stops in both Prescott and Tucson. Just 15 days before the presidential election, Trump landed on Air Force One at Phoenix Sky Harbor about an hour before his rally in Prescott, Arizona. He was greeted by Governor Doug Ducey and Senator Martha McSally, who were both masked at the time of Trump's arrival. One of the main talking points of Trump's Prescott visit was his experience with COVID-19. He claims he has recently tested negative and informed the crowd, quote, "If you have it, you get better," end quote. Trump also went on to describe the confidence he feels in winning the election this coming fall. He stated, quote, "We did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe did in 47 years, end quote. President Trump then departed for Tucson, where he promised that if elected, next year will be the greatest economic year in American history. Recent polls have suggested that Trump's re-election is not guaranteed. His main objective for visiting these two cities was to gain support for his campaign while also exciting his supporters. Tucson has increasingly become more politically divided, meaning one of Trump's goals for this visit was to help neutralize the area. As seen in 2016, dominating rural Arizona will definitely aid President Trump in the upcoming election. For The Cut, I'm Elizabeth Shibley.
Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez announced they will be endorsing Joe Biden for the upcoming presidential election. Maria Staubs shares Lopez's and Rodriguez's message to Latino voters.
With the presidential election just around the corner, some celebrities are using their platforms to reach out to voters. In a video released on October 16th, Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez not only endorsed presidential candidate Joe Biden, but sent a message to the Latino community. Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez sat down with Joe Biden and wife Jill Biden in a virtual setting to discuss defeating COVID-19, rebuilding the economy, and bringing the nation together. Lopez talked about the values of the Latino community, such as family and faith, and Biden expressed how these values have guided his own life. Lopez hopes that Latinos understand their power in this election, and Biden and his wife committed to having Latinos in the administration if elected. Lopez then continued to highlight how crucial it is to unify the nation.
Yep.
Getting rid of this hate, thinking about my kids walking around in a world where, it's okay to be racist or prejudiced because our administration says it's okay.
By the end, Lopez and Rodriguez spoke in Spanish directly to the camera, urging the Latino community to use their voice and vote in the upcoming election. Biden reiterated their common desire to unite America during his campaign stop in North Carolina days later.
No red states, no blue states, just the United States.
Over Twitter, Joe Biden thanked Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez for their support. He quotes Lopez, stating that the Latino community has the power to determine the outcome of this election. According to a Pew Research report, a record 32 million Latinos are eligible to vote during the upcoming election, making their voices stronger than ever. For The Cut, I'm Maria Staubs.
The popular NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson will no longer be the only driver to race the number 48 car. Haley Forbes tells us about the Arizona native who will have the honor of taking the lucky number next.
Arizona native Alex Bowman has been competing in the NASCAR Cup Series for 6 years. and starting in 2021, will be racing the number 48 car, made famous by 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson. Hendrick Motorsports announced earlier this month that Alex Bowman would replace Jimmy Johnson in the number 48 car starting next year. Jimmy Johnson has been racing the number 48 car for 20 years and announced last November that he would no longer race full-time after the end of this season. Johnson said, quote, "I've been at one place my entire career and was there to start this 48 car and help create its history, so I'll have great pride watching it week in and week out," end quote. Bowman currently drives the number 88 car and has been since 2016. Bowman is set to become the second full-time driver of the number 48 car. Bowman has followed some very impactful drivers in the past, including the number 88 car driven by Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2021. Now Bowman will drive the car of 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson. Alex Bowman said on Twitter, quote, "The 48 has a strong legacy already. I am excited to have the chance to create one of my own," end quote. Bowman currently has 2 first-place wins and 15 top 5 wins. Bowman will finish out the last few races of the season in the number 88 car, but starting in 2021, will be driving number 48. For The Cut, I'm Haley Forbes.
Thanks, Haley. Well, that's it for this week's episode. For our latest coverage, you can visit the Cut Network on YouTube.
And for a behind-the-scenes look at our content, don't forget to follow us on social media at @thecut_network.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.